Okay, so I wanted to start out showing you all how to go about with like some free roll entries that you can get into that you can basically use and look at, what's going on as you try to enter Fanduel low cost or free rolls. You can build yourself up there. You know, uh, I'll continue to show you how to do it as you keep following along and how to get in these kind of entry contests. But basically, I wanted to go over looking at that as, for example, the goal would be to obviously spend money so that you can get more of a profit and get some more, going on with that. And this particular lineup did very well for me, as I had from last week, that was week 12, that is Alex Smith, Kamara, Kenyon Drake, who had a high volume game, Hopkins, always dependable and reliable, Michael Thomas I hit on, along with Stills, pretty good. Everybody was pretty good in this lineup. So what I used in order to do so, of course, is a draft dashboard, as I'm getting into showing you here first. But what I want to show you first is to get into bankroll management. So let's say you're entering into like free rolls, a FanDuel where you don't spend any money and you start to accumulate a little bit of money and funds on there, because you can completely do this realistically without spending any money at first, just playing with free contests. So the idea is that once you get some money gathered up and win some money, or whether you put in $10 or whatever you want to do to start with from these free roll contests, as a result of these, of course, they have contests you enter that are under $1. Okay, so it could be 25 cents or even less, something along those lines. But let's say you do invest. Let's go ahead and say at the same time $1. Let's go negative actually. So you're deducting $1, and then also see equals -1. Really simple. You can multiply this and obviously exponentially increase it in your funds and spending. So this is a little bit beyond 101. I'll say 102 bankroll management. So once you get up, obviously, in the hundreds of dollars. But let's say you also go ahead and increase your chances of winning a tournament. So let's say you put in some of these 25-cent contests, and those add up to be $1. So that's 4, right? And that's what you're going to get here. Whoops. Let's say just -$2 worth. So if you follow me, you got a 50-50 or a head-to-head contest to make it balance out as safe, because you can't enter all just tournament contests, even at a low price range end. And let's say in these tournament contests, 20% of the people, let's say out of 100,000 people enter, 20%, which are 20,000 people, actually get some money back, let's say 50 cents after investing 25 cents. So therefore, what you could do is balance it out. 50% of your money just now went into a 50-50 contest, with a high chance of scoring and winning in that, of which you can get $1.80 back. But the other 4 contests of that dollar, let's say the tournaments, you're putting in 25 cents for each chance of winning a high-end tournament. So let's say you only get back your $1.80 plus you get just 1 out of those 4. So 25% that you win, 50 cents back. So you're at a positive 30 cents. You're in the game. So with positive cash flow, obviously this increases as an investment for those purposes. So that's to give you the real basic general idea, but you could literally use this starting from nothing or $1 and keep increasing. Now, you need, of course, reliable ways, obviously, to get to this goal, whether it's in those 50-50 or the tournament contests, starting out with a free roll. So I'm going to show you how to go about doing that. Now, in NFL football, there are tons and tons of stats. You could look on ESPN or any special fantasy football reference website, and you'll find anything and everything from, of course, fantasy thrown yards, touchdowns, and all these different stats. You can try to come up with the best possible solution and answer. But where I am right now here is on a laptop computer and I'm not on a device, but just suggesting that you look at this on a device, you can also, and it's very mobile and device friendly as well. But this lays out the whole spreadsheet look of it. You see here, these are the top plays of the day, and this is for actually work week 13, Thursday through Monday included. So you get a sneak peek. This includes some of these players, yes, definitely into your lineup. All right, pick and choose some. So, but to give you an idea of what's going on here now, these stats are not available on those websites, such as rushing attempts per game. Very important. For example, McCoy, 17 and a third, .3. And targets, how many times he's thrown at. These stats are not available on any normal site such as what I was talking about, nor are fantasy points per game, specifically on Fanduel. And so since you can see my cursor and I set it up that way on the video, this obviously can be switched over to DraftKings as well. But we're looking at Fanduel right now. So as you can see here, there are some advanced algorithms going on. There is a ranking here. And it goes from 100, we are at the top of the players of the list. And it goes on down, quite some, all the way down to the players that are third string and fourth string even, I believe. And you know how we can even know that, of course, is showing you some of this particular spreadsheet format, as I call it, is RB1, wide receiver 1. Obviously, that means first on a depth chart, okay? Just got to check my time. I'm not going to make this too long. All right. So, and as you can see here, I've already targeted these players. And these players are being used in reference to players that I want to play this particular week. Okay, so they are saved in a database. So you also have your database, not only to evaluate all these different stats and options, like really cool here, look. For McCoy, it has his upside or his high game, 26.3 on FanDuel, and his low or floor at 2.5. And the last 5 games even valued there. And if you even want more information on him, if you want more stats and so forth, you can just click on his name and it'll bring up a whole profile. Tons of more deep information in there you can look at. But I also want you to notice there his fantasy projection and even his price per dollar. Points, dollars per point, that is. So he gets you at a value of $536 a point on FanDuel. And Brady gets a 431 points. All right, so looking on over to the right here, we've got percentage owned. Okay, so you can organize this. You can order them up however you want in the columns to figure out in a majority of fantasy formats online, whether it's Yahoo, NFL.com, whatever it is, percentage owned as well as started. And the snap, this is an actual stat that's hard to find. Obviously, snap percentage. So you want to get a good look at this. Make sure these guys are getting enough snap percentage, which these guys are here, of course, to be top ranked. 70% and above with 60%, let's say. Working our way down there to Winston and Crabtree, who are a great plays for the week, as well as Marvin Jones. So you can see even the players that I'm watching here, their health status is on here. There's just a ton of information, even the breakdown of the lines for the games, and all this there you can look at on the draft dashboard. So where you want to go to get access to not only this information, but also my specific free report on how to evaluate even deeper the value into these players on a daily, now that includes other daily fantasy sports, but on a weekly basis when it comes to football, you can look at all this information, okay, at the website link at the bottom of this video. It's very important that you visit that because, as I'll just give you a glimpse of, as this would just take a few moments here with a slow connection, the fantasy studs. Obviously, some of these fantasy studs for the week that you build your lineup around are included in these top players of the week. But if I was to click on that there, I'm not going to right now because this computer, a small computer, a laptop computer, takes a little while to load. And I'm in my car, so I wouldn't be able to do that right now. The connection is slow. But however, the video shown here is shown how to find these players and evaluate based on all this information. But I want to give you an example of a player real quick before I stop this and keep checking my time to keep this video somewhat short, is that Josh Gordon had a #1 receiver caliber play last week. And he is going to be if you check the look and verify and you get in on this trial, you go to the website at the bottom of this video, and you can even visit my website too, my personal blog, as I update with all sorts of information there related to winning strategies in DFS and general fantasy football. Is that with Gordon, he is considered a fantasy stud, even though not having the information. So this takes into account someone that's only played one game, and they show him to be a fantasy stud because he performed at a #1 receiving caliber player. Now, obviously, any one of these players can drop down and not perform up to such par, such as Brady did that, last week. It happens. So that's why, going back to their bankroll management strategy, you're going to make sure that you're in the positive, so that you're not out of the game. You can enter if it equals out 4 tournaments per a 50-50 or a head-to-head contest. So if you manage this wisely and you're entering beginner, and expert excluded games at first, you're at quite an advantage here because not many people have this information at their fingertips like you would right here. So you would opt into my report at the bottom, and there you'll be able to receive more information on how these studs are not only evaluated but calculated in terms of fundamentally, what you look for. Obviously, as you may know, a lot of that you look for injuries, status, and depth charts, and so forth, but also that you look for a specific number of calculations that you can use to statistically be sure that every week you will be in the positive. And that's what's happening right now. Not only with this system, but with my information that you receive in the free report on how to every week ensure that you'll be not only in this 30-cent profit for every $2, but increase your chances of the upside, because you'll be able to, every once in a while, whether it's once a month or once every couple months, gain a much larger return than 30 cents on $2. So that information in there gets in someone in the detail of that in a step-by-step. It's actually 3 steps process in how you evaluate in an exact proportion in the metrics of these players and what they're going through right now to be able to try to be consistent, of course, themselves in the NFL. So I hope that really helps you. I really believe it will on Fanduel and setting up some great lineups, as we've covered really pretty much all the information in this spreadsheet. There's some printable formats of some different things in here that may assist you, and things that I know I like things printed out and written out myself, and that helps me a lot in picking up fancy lineups for the week. So not only this useful for this week, but for any week if you encounter this video and look on it to help you with lineups going forward. All right? Great. Talk to you later.